Hey there, fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here at ancient Corinth in Greece, and today we're going to talk about our 5 things that tourists are going to love and maybe not love so much when they come to Greece. And I got to start with the most important thing, the thing that's going to make you fall in love with Greece every single time you come here, and that is the Greeks and Greek hospitality, because honestly, the people here are phenomenal. They will make sure that you have the best time possible when you're here in Greece, whether you're going to the islands, whether you're going into the mountains, the coast, wherever you are, they're going to make sure you enjoy it because they're so proud of their country. They're so proud of the regions, their cities. I mean, you go to Crete, they're going to be shoving you full of Cretan pies and Cretan cheeses. You go up to Thessaloniki, they're going to be shoving food inside of you. You're coming here to Corinth, they'll do the same thing, and that's just it. The people here really bring Greece alive. Like, you really get to enjoy it through the locals when you're here, because Greek hospitality is world-renowned in terms of the food they feed you, the fun times they want you to have. Yes, they're going to drag you up to teach you how to do all the dances and things like that. It's just a wonderful thing, and that's why, honestly, I mean, I know I say people are some of the best parts of traveling, a lot of places we go, but here in Greece, it is the biggest thing you're going to love because the people are awesome. And honestly, don't be surprised if they just keep shoveling food inside of you until you want to explode, okay? But that's the first thing you're going to love. It's just the Greek people. And as much as you're going to love the Greek people, there is one thing about the Greeks that you're really going to hate, especially if you're coming from the U.S. or Northern Europe, and that is the Greek sense of time. I mean, being on time, I don't even know if they know what that means. I mean, late for dinners, late for meetups, just things take longer when you're here, whether it is getting seated at a restaurant, getting the menu, getting to order your food, getting your drinks. Oh my gosh, where I see most tourists lose their mind is when they want to go and they want to get their bill and they have to wait for that. And when they think they're bringing the bill to them, oh no, they bring some raki or some ouzo or some watermelon or whatever. They bring it to them as a kind of, before I get your check to you, I'm going to bring this other thing that you thought was your check, but it's actually just a freebie at the end. And you just see the tourists going, I just want to go. Honestly, you got to plan around Greek time when you are here because it can make things take a little bit longer. So whether it's checking into hotels, going to restaurants, shopping, have a bit more patience so that doesn't really frustrate you as much as it does some tourists when they come here. The thing is that frustration of waiting for the bill, the time frame kind of thing, doesn't really mind because you're going to be digesting so much food while you're waiting for that bill. So I think that leads into the second thing you're going to love when you come here is the Greek food. And I mean, there is so much to eat here. Yes, you have the moussakas, you have the souvlakis, you have the gyros. Yes, you have all those wonderful things you know from your Greek restaurants around the world. But one thing I got to tell you, when you go around Greece, each region has its own kind of special cuisines as well, whether it's the wines, whether it's the drinks, whether it's the food, you're going to have that. When you're on Crete, you have their greens there are fantastic, and the cheese is there. When you're here in the Nafplio, you have artichokes be coming out all over the place, the pasta there. I mean, there's so many great foods to have when you're here in Greece, and the portion sizes you get as well are insane. I mean, if you're looking to bulk up or fatten up for winter, this is the place to be because, oh my God, you get one plate, it's like for a family of 4. I mean, we've eaten some places, it literally is, we'll get a couple starters and 2 mains, and we'll split it between the 4 of us, and we still have leftovers, okay? So food is one of the fantastic things you're going to love about coming to Greece. So eat when you're here. And since I have Jossa with me here now, I think it's really good for her to talk about the second thing you're going to hate about coming to Greece. It's the driving, wouldn't you say?
What? Greeks are amazing drivers. We own the road.
All of the road.
All of the road.
All sides.
All of the parts, including the shoulder, because really it's a lane. You know, like you have 2 lanes, 3 cars, 6 motorcycles, then perazzi. It's not a problem. We all go. It's fine. But if you don't have any Greek DNA, it might be a little scary and you might really hate it. So, tomati attested that your eye is 4. You got to have 2 in front, 2 in back, and you might want to have some on the sides too because Greek drivers are coming everywhere. Do not try to drive in Athens. Even Greeks, like born and raised Greeks, don't try to do that.
Yeah, just the overall driving experience. I mean, but the thing is, when you come to Greece, if you really want to explore it, this is where people don't like it, is they feel like they really have to drive. I mean, you really have to drive if you want to explore Crete, if you want to explore the Peloponnese. And the thing is, public transportation is helpful, but to really get to places like you want to come here to ancient Corinth, you really need to have, your own transportation, or you're taking a tour with 50 other people, and that's not as much fun.
A private tour, though, too.
True, you get a private tour, but
however, I think the highways are really great. The driving really is something you'll hate. However, The major highways are all really good. I never really have issue with that. The side roads really aren't too bad either. I mean, you might get a little dicey sometimes in the mountains, but you know.
Yeah, and I will say this is with those curves like this, don't take them fast because you never know if somebody's going to be coming. And don't forget to watch out for the goats in certain parts of the country. Okay, so something else I think we love, and this is an important one to talk about when we're here. Is the third thing you're going to love when you come here to Greece is the ruins and just the history of Greece. I mean, we have ancient Corinth behind us, and you go around, you got the Palace of Knossos on Crete, you've got, the Acropolis, the Parthenon, you have so many
Peter Ross, Manavasia.
Yeah, and it's not just ancient history when you're here. You have more recent history as well. So if you're in Nafplio, you'll see how the Venetians kind of influenced and were in power here for a while. But also, that's also a very important place for Greek independence. So there's things you can see about that. So there's so much history here. You can go to Sparta, and you can see the Leonidas statue. Though I'll tell you right now, there's not a lot there to see. So maybe just drive by and get the picture.
But as someone with Spartan roots, yeah. I like it because it's an easy place to see the rest of the Peloponnese from.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. And now that my own Greek goddess has left me, I mean, the temples you'll see when you're here, the ruins you'll see, I mean, it's just so much history that you're like, wait, what did that happen here? That was here? I mean, it's just so much to remember from your history classes and your philosophy lessons and the Bible and all kinds of stuff. It's just a really cool place to see all that when you're like, wait, I've seen this in movies. I've seen this in things. I mean, honestly, that first time you see the Acropolis and you see the Parthenon on top when you're in Athens, just like, it is truly one of those truly smiling, you're loving travel and seeing the world kind of moments, okay? This leads into the third thing you're not going to like when you come to Greece, and that is if you come to Greece at the wrong time. Greece is very much a seasonal destination. So, for example, if you come here in the winter, don't bother going to the islands because so many things are closed. So, fewer ferries, fewer flights, it's tougher to get around. So many shops and sites are really closed down for the winter or such limited hours. You might ask yourself, why did I come to Greece at this time of the year when there's not much going on? That's why if you're coming in winter, January, February, I recommend doing more of the city kind of things. Athens, Thessaloniki, going around Nafplio, you can get those. That's going to be better in the wintertime because it really does kind of close down quite a bit. I mean, I was in Santorini once in February, and it was literally my mom, my dad, myself, and then we had to walk down the back side of the island to go eat with the locals because there was nothing open, okay? But on the other side of that, the peak season of July and August, when it just gets packed full of tourists from all over Europe and it just gets really hustle and bustly, that can be a bit too much too. And with the heat and the humidity and the sun, you're like, ugh, it can be a bit much. That's why, honestly, best times to come, April, May, early June, September, October. You still got great weather, stuff's still open, you can enjoy it. And have a breather from all the tourists that are around. Now, one of our most popular comments about going to Greece and things that people love, our fellow travelers love, is actually island hopping. I mean, you will love the island hopping. When you're going from island to island, seeing things, when you're going from Crete to Santorini, maybe you're going to Mykonos, there's so many different islands on here, and all of them have kind of like a reputation. And I will say this, do your research before you go to which island you think you want to go to, because you might see that, wait, this one might be better for me, or this one might be better for me. I know for us, we like going to Crete because we have family there, but Crete is huge. It's like 300 kilometers wide, so you have distinctly different parts. You have the pink, you get the pink sand on the west side, you got the gorge in the south, you got the cities like Anya and Heraklion on the north. I mean, you have all this, but Santorini, yes, you have to see Santorini with the white buildings, the blue caps, but I'm going to tell you, that is only in Santorini. That is not a thing all over Greece or all over the islands, all right? But going around to the different islands, it is so much fun. Though the ferrying part maybe not be so much fun, but honestly, the island hopping thing, whether you're young or old, it can be a great time. And here's one thing for my island hoppers, they get tired of the ferries because especially when you don't get a seat. I'll get into that in terms of one of the hates, but there's other options you have to get around. And I think I really should say this is my fourth hate of coming here to Greece is when you are island hopping, that ferry experience. I mean, it's cool maybe for a ferry or some of the shorter ferries, but when you're doing the overnight ferry down to Crete or one of the 7 or 8 hour long ferries and you don't have a seat or you don't have a berth or you don't have a room and you're sitting there with your stuff in the corner trying to get on the ferry as soon as you can so you can sit in the restaurant part, it's one of those things you're not really going to enjoy. So I do recommend getting that seat reservation, getting a room as you can, or what we do now is we actually just fly between the islands when we can. I know people go, oh, fly between the islands, it's so expensive. I'll be honest with you, there's so many deals for flights between the islands that you actually can get some pretty good deals flying between the islands. Not all of them, but some of them. And then actually when you look at it, do I want to waste 7 hours in a ferry or take a 30-minute flight to Crete? I mean, that's what you kind of have to think about. But yeah, the ferry experience, people talk about it after they do it, and it's like, oh, it was tough, but it was worth it. Yeah, no, it was tough. Just the ferry sometimes can be a bit tough, okay? Now, going back, let's go back to a love. We'll do our fifth love. A fifth thing you're to love about coming to Greece is just the tourism infrastructure. I mean, people have been coming here for millennia to take in, ancient Corinth, Athens. I mean, this has been a place that people have loved to come and visit. Whether you're going to the beaches along the coast or you're going to the islands and those beaches there, you're partying all night long, you're taking in the history of Athens, you're going to Olympia, you're going to the West Coast, you're going to see Marathon, you're going to do all these historical things. There's so many things to do. People have been coming here for so long that there's a really great tourism infrastructure to help you. Because if you don't want to drive, believe me, there are tours that will take you all over the place. You want to go see the Oracle of Delphi and you're in Athens, there's a tour to take you to see that. You want to see Mycenae, there's a tour to take you to see that. You want to see Marathon, you can go see that. You want to see where the original Olympics were held, they can do a tour for that. And that's one thing that's really nice. And what's cool is their tours. If you're a young person, you don't got a lot of friends, you're like, hey, you know what? I want to make some friends while I travel. There's tours for that. Your families, you want to go with other families to see other destinations and they like families together. There's tours for that. If you're a retiree, they've got tours for that. I mean, the hotel options you have around the islands and around the whole country, from high end to medium price to hostels and lower end, Greece has it all for everybody. That's one of the things why people love coming here, because from the food, accommodation, sites, it's not bad for your budget. I mean, I guess I should put that with the love of the tourism infrastructure is also the fact that you don't bust your budget when you're here. And that's one of the things you're really going to enjoy, because you can do so much and they can be all literally served up on a silver platter to you. No problem. And the thing is, I'm mentioning these tours and then the driving thing because honestly, the fifth thing you're probably not going to like when you come to Greece is the public transportation. Now, sometimes there's some places like you can get the train to certain places. You can get the bus. I've taken the bus to Nafplio a number of times over the years. It's very doable. But the thing is, to get to some of the really special spots, there either isn't public transportation or there's very limited public transportation, or it might not be going today, or there might be a strike going on, or something happens that just makes that public transportation option a lot less. And that can be frustrating for tourists. So make sure you're planning time around your travels when you are here because of the public transportation limitations here in Greece, all right? So those are my things that I think tourists tend to love and maybe hate a little bit about coming to Greece, but overall, this is a fantastic country to visit. The people are awesome. The food is amazing. Your belly's gonna bust like crazy when you're here. So I hope you have a great time. Let me know, what do you love about visiting Greece, and what do you maybe not love so much about visiting Greece? Put it down in the comments below so we can help other travelers enjoy this beautiful country. And I'll say bye from here in Greece, outside of ancient Corinth.